Today, we want to share how we made and presented a poster for our grammar course. At first, we thought it would be just about designing something cool, but turns out it was also about learning how to communicate properly using grammar in real-life speaking. Honestly, we underestimated how tricky this would be. We thought, how hard can it be to talk about grammar while showing off a poster? Spoiler, it was harder than we thought, but we learned a lot, not just about grammar, but about ourselves too. When we were assigned to create a poster presentation, our initial thoughts were filled with a mix of curiosity and concern. On one hand, it felt like an opportunity to apply what we had learned about grammar in a creative way. On the other hand, we were unsure of how to present complex topics like connectives and tense and aspects in a clear and engaging manner. We questioned whether we could balance academic accuracy with making the presentation interesting enough for the audience. Initially, the task seemed overwhelming. Both topics were broad, and deciding which points to include required careful thought. However, we reminded ourselves to focus on the core ideas and trust the process. This mindset helped us take the first steps and break the task into manageable sections. One of the main challenges we faced was simplifying the content while maintaining its academic value. Connectives and tense and aspects are essential elements of grammar, but explaining them in a way that felt natural required effort. To address this, we started by organizing our ideas into a logical flow. For example, we began with definitions, provided examples, and demonstrated their importance in spoken and written discourse. This structure helped us clarify the key points. Another challenge was managing our nerves about presenting in front of an audience. Public speaking is always a bit intimidating, especially when explaining technical concepts. To overcome this, we practiced extensively. We rehearsed multiple times, first on our own, and then in front of friends who gave us constructive feedback. This practice helped us improve both our delivery and our confidence. A smaller yet significant challenge was understanding the differences between spoken and written grammar. For example, we had to explain why people use simpler tenses in spoken language while more complex forms appear in writing. To tackle this, we researched examples from everyday conversations and formal texts, which made the explanation clearer and more relatable. This experience gave us new insights into spoken grammar and its practical applications. We realized how vital connectives are for making communication coherent. Words and phrases like therefore, next, and in addition are not just small details. They provide structure and help the audience follow the speaker's ideas.
As part of our project, we got a much clearer understanding of tense and aspects in grammar. In spoken language, we tend to keep things simple because we want to make sure people can understand us quickly. For example, if someone says, "I saw her yesterday," it's much more straightforward and faster than saying something like, "I had seen her the day before." This simpler structure helps people process information faster, which is why it works so well in conversations. In writing, though we might use more complex forms, but in speaking, keeping it simple is key for clarity. On the other hand, we also spend some time focusing on connectives, which are super important for making our speech flow. In our presentation, we specifically looked at how connectives help us link ideas together and make the structure of our talk clear. For example, when we move from talking about tense and aspect to connectives, we use a smooth transition like, "Now that we've discussed the tense and aspects, let's look at how connectives work in spoken and written language." This kind of phrasing made sure that the audience could easily follow along without feeling lost or confused. It was an important part of making our presentation feel organized and easy to understand. Looking back on this whole experience, grammar is not just a set of rules to memorize, but it's a tool to help us communicate more effectively. We learned that grammar is essential for expressing ideas clearly and for structuring our thought in a way that makes sense to others. The project also helped us develop some important presentation skills. Before this, we didn't always think about how to engage an audience or keep a steady pace. But practicing for this presentation really taught us how to structure our ideas in a way that would keep people interested. We also had to adjust our tone and delivery, making sure to emphasize key points and make the content engaging. These are all skills we can use in the future presentations and in other academic tasks. Plus, it definitely gave us more confidence in speaking and presenting. Overall, putting this poster presentation together was a lot of work, but it was totally worth it. We gained a much deeper understanding of grammar and how it works in everyday communication. On top of that, we improved our public speaking skills and learned how to present in a clear and engaging way. All of these lessons are things that will help us in the future, both in our studies and beyond. It was a challenging but really rewarding experience. We're super lucky to have such sportive and competitive classmates as our audience, and they were super engaged and really listened to what we're saying, making sure they understood everything. Big thanks to everyone who took their time to listen to our story, and we're grateful for all the growth it brought us. Maybe that's all the story of our journey. Hope you all have an awesome day. Bye bye.